Tim Hughes, that's Brutal Bob Evans, and you're listening to That Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to That Wrestling Podcast. It's Money, it's Clyde, and we're going to talk a little wrestling, baby. You ready, brother?
That's right. What's up, baby? How you doing tonight?
Well, how you doing today, brother? This sunny Thursday here in Louisville, Kentucky, baby. How you doing?
Been over at Flair walking, man. Peacock walking. Shot a little basketball with old Money today. You know, doing it up, brother. You know how we do it.
We did play a little bit of basketball today, man. It was a beautiful day here in Louisville, Kentucky. Play a little bit of basketball. I had a great day here, brother. Now we're releasing a podcast, man. What more can you ask for, brother?
Not too much, man. Not too much. Maybe some biscuits and gravy tomorrow morning.
Some biscuits and gravy. That's right. Amen, brother. Amen to that. But you know what else we can do? We can talk a little wrestling, brother. That's what I've been dying to do with you all day, brother. Even during the basketball games, through the grueling sweat and body bumps out there on the court, brother, I was ready to talk wrestling with you. So we got a lot to hop into. I'm ready to do it, brother. We got to talk a little John Cena. He shared his thoughts on Undertaker and Goldberg match. He also shared his thoughts on his own retirement, possibly lurking in the near future. What? Going to touch on that. Enzo Amore shared his thoughts on the WWE creative process. I've been dying to dive into that with you, brother. Alberto Del Rio unveiled a new wrestling promotion. Segment number 2, going to play a little bit of random wrestling knowledge with Clyde, with Nevlum today, though, and a very special guest. We will unveil all that for you guys in segment number 2. Segment number 3, going to talk a little bit of AEW all-out ticket prices. Going to talk a little bit about AEW and a former WWE marketing director to their roster. And also going to talk a little bit about Fyter Fest and how you can watch it for free, brother. You ready to hop into all this?
Yes, sir. Let's get it in there. Let's put it in the oven, brother.
Woo, that was a mouthful, brother. Let's get started. I'm dying to hop in this with you. And did you see the news the other day that John Cena, I believe it was, and I want to quote this correctly. So let me find the correct article. Here we go. TMZ Sports recently caught up with John Cena to congratulate him on his upcoming role in Fast and Furious 9. Cena also shared his thoughts on whether or not Undertaker Goldberg should retire. And I don't know if you've seen the quote or not, brother, but I want to read this to you real quick. I think it's an individual's career is up to the individual, Cena said when asked if Taker and Goldberg should retire. I think that's pretty much the way I can describe that. I've been having the same conversation with myself, and I'm only 42. It's something we've got to address each day. That's individually specific, and when those people are ready to stop, they'll stop. What do you think about Cena's thoughts on Goldberg, Taker, and his own retirement, brother?
Well, Cena's been doing awful good in Hollywood, brother. He's seeing through rose-colored glasses these days, so it's a little easier, I think, for him to talk about retiring from wrestling. I know Goldberg's did a couple little movies here and there. I wanted to say The Undertaker, even back in the day, was in a movie with Hulk Hogan like 20 years ago. But it's kind of different, I think, for Undertaker and Goldberg than it is for Cena, man. I mean, Cena's on the come up in Hollywood big time, so, you know, it's a little different, I think, man. See, it's easier for him to say that, you know?
Yeah, I guess I see what you're saying there, brother, because he has like so many more cards in his deck, so many more tools in his tool belt, brother. Yeah, I know what you're saying there. He's got so many more revenue streams per se coming in. So yeah, like you said, someone kind of from the outside looking in can say that. And as far as Cena and his own retirement, brother, I mean, you know, the way things are going for him in Hollywood, could you see like John Cena, you know, in the near future just kind of announcing, you know, at some point that he's done with the WWE, or do you think that maybe he'll never really announce that, you know?
You know, I'm kind of on the fence. I wouldn't be surprised either way. I still, you know, I'm still the fan in me. Still hoping for that John Cena heel run. I don't know if we're ever going to get it, brother, especially, you know, like I said before, you know, he's doing so good in Hollywood, man. It's hard to turn down that big money.
And I know a lot of fans are like wanting to see that John Cena heel run, and they kind of teased that. What was that this past WrestleMania when he came out? And did he really? Well, I don't know necessarily if you can even call that a match. What happened with him and Elias? But do you think that was kind of teasing maybe something that could come in the future with Cena, or do you think that was just kind of like all we're going to see of that?
I really hope it was a teaser, man. I think it's one of the few things left that could be done in wrestling that's going to be a big deal if it's done properly.
Yeah, Cena turns heel, and then Cena turns heel, dude, and then you just hear this music. You think that would
oh shit!
You think that would cause a stir in the crowd?
I think it would definitely pop the crowd. Might even break the internet. They do own the rights to the NWO, to WWE, so why not?
They're gonna come at. We're gonna have to blur that music out, brother. They're gonna come after us, even for that 6-second clip. We're liable to get our knees broken, brother.
Yeah, the old school fan in me. You talking about a market? Could you imagine if Cena come out to the Wolfpack and let's say he had Andrade with him and maybe Dolph Ziggler, a couple guys like that.
Oh, man.
NWO.
That would be awesome. I mean, just talking about this huge heel turn. Why not play it up right? And you pegged the guy perfect right there. I think Dolph would be perfect in one of these heel factions, dude. I think he would be perfect, dude.
Well, I do know this. Dolph has been dreaming about doing something NWO for a long time, and there's always the rumor if somebody was going to be in that Hogan and the Hulk Hogan role, it's have to be John Cena.
Yeah, brother. I mean, wow. Yeah, that would just be totally awesome. But let's go ahead and change gears here for a moment because, man, I mean, now that we've gotten on that topic, I could, ramble about that all night. We could assemble a fake roster and everything. We could really dive into that, brother. We got a few more topics to hop into, though, here, brother. Did you see recently what Enzo said? He was actually on Keeping It 100 with Conan recently on the show there, and he him and Conan talked about a lot of topics, but one of the things I really want to talk about, like a couple of real quick quotes from Enzo within this interview, was they asked him about WWE's creative process and their scripted promos, and Enzo's just not really a fan of that. I've got about 5 paragraphs we've got quoted here, but here's one I really want to read you right here. I just think that there's a lot of chefs in the kitchen. There's a lot of writers, and I think that week to week, a lot of talent have no idea what they're getting themselves into up until the show starts. So many times I was handed a script, and the script would change an hour before the show or an hour into the show, and I would try to remix it, and some of the writers hated that. But when Enzo Amore goes out there and goes off script and he comes back to the curtain, he forgets the script. And he said the only person that really mattered was Vince McMahon, so I never really gave a F about the writers. What do you think about what do you think about Enzo? And he basically goes on to say that he created the thing where he comes out and says, "I am Enzo Amore." He says that's all him, and that he basically said that's all him, and that that he's basically that WWE should kind of let people be themselves a little more. And what do you think about Enzo saying this stuff? Because it almost really rings true with what Moxley had to say a while back when he started to leave the WWE. There was the rumor going around that he didn't like quote hokey shit, is what Seth said, and now seeing his new character how it looks, and it just kind of seems like when Enzo says it kind of gets overlooked. But if Moxley comes out and says something like that, everybody's like, yeah, he's right. Enzo says it. Everyone's like, F off, Enzo, we hate you. I'm just so. What's your thoughts about what Enzo said there, brother?
I'm liking it, man. It makes sense. Some of the best promo guys in the history of wrestling, they might take what the writers wrote for them, and CM Punk is one I can really think of when we talk about this. I remember a story where a writer brought something to him and he kind of crumbled it up, threw it in the trash, went out and did his thing. And Enzo is right, man. Vince is really, he's the final say. They got all these writers, but some of these guys don't need writers, man. They just don't need it, and then some of them do. That's just the way it goes.
I agree, brother. And then, when we close the show out today, there's some stuff I want to hop into that a little more deeply with you. We're going to take a little deeper dive into that on our AEW segment, in segment number 3. So please stick around for that, folks. But before we do that, I want to talk about this final topic here with you in segment number 1, brother. Did you see that Alberto Del Rio unveiled his new wrestling promotion? I guess it'll be yesterday.
Yeah. I'm really, really excited for that. I'm a big fan of Alberto Del Rio and Chavo Guerrero. I'm really hoping this is something we'll be able to catch on television here in the U.S. And what I'm really hoping for is Carlito to be a part of this.
Oh yeah, well it's cool that you said Chavo because I didn't give a shout out to Chavo. It's Alberto and Chavo. They're the ones that announced the new promotion, and they also announced that they have a lot of talent under contract already, including The one that you like, brother, Carlito. He is under contract with them. He's going to do some work.
Oh, wow. Okay. Awesome, brother.
They played video promos from MVP, Carlito, Dr. Wagner Jr., Ricardo Rodriguez, Phoenix, Pentagon. I mean, wow. What about, so I guess this is kind of keeping in touch with AEW here a little bit. We're going to touch on this, but I guess Phoenix and Pentagon aren't really exclusive to AEW because they're like the AAA tag champions also, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So, like we've said before, AEW, man's really relaxed. Which, work could definitely work for them. I just don't get the deal of sending your talent so many places, man. Injuries, unfortunately, are going to happen in professional wrestling.
Yeah, I can't wait to see the Nacion Lucha Libre take the air, brothers. So more wrestling's going to be on the air, dude. I guess this is kind of going to be like the South American rival, to the WWE, and while we have another North American rival up here with AEW, and it looks like competition's going to be getting tight here soon for Vince, brother, because I don't think that Alberto and Chavo are playing around with this new promotion.
No, I can't wait to see it. Carlito, he's one of my favorite wrestlers of all time, so it'd be nice to see him, man. I was still hoping he would come back to WWE, but there's still time.
There's always time, brother.
But maybe he doesn't. Maybe he doesn't need to. He did it while he was there. He did everything he could do outside of winning the WWE title.
And speaking of always time, brother, we are just about out of time here on segment number 1, but thank you for joining us, Clyde. We'll be right back for segment number 2 to play a little bit of random wrestling knowledge with Mr. Nevlin and a special guest, and then we'll be back with segment number 3 to talk a little bit of AEW for the day. So thanks for joining us for this segment. We'll be right back after this. Hello, I'm Richard, but you can call me Dick. And I'm going to talk about something today that not a lot of men really like to talk about. But sometimes after a long day in the saddle, I get a little itching in my nether region. And that's why I got with my friend Peter here and created a wonderful product. You tell him about it, Peter.
Well, my name's Peter. I'll tell you, you got an itch and you giddy up. There ain't nothing better for that itch than Texas ball cream.
That's right, it's Texas Ball Cream. You can pick us up at all your local retailers. Just ask the pharmacist for Texas Ball Cream. The following is a paid advertisement for Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. That Wrestling Podcast is not responsible for any products in this ad. Do you suffer from ACE, also known as atypical constant ejaculation? Well, you are not alone. And now, thanks to the Scrotal Treatment Center of America's patented new Semenese technology, you can get your problem taken care of. It's a series of 3 invasive, laser-guided injections that'll have you up and running in no time. That's the Scrotal Treatment Centers of America. Not only am I a spokesman, but I'm a client. Welcome back. Special guest this segment, Mr. Nevlin, all the way from Puerto Rico. And also joining us is Miss Denise Munez. How you doing tonight, Miss Denise?
Pretty good. Thank you for having me.
Nevlin, how are things down in Puerto Rico, brother?
Well, man, same old, feeling a little better, brother.
Good deal. I'm glad to hear you're doing good, brother. And Denise, it's a pleasure to have you on here. I know we've been trying to hook up for a little while here, and I thought, what better way to kind of introduce you to our show than by having you play, if it's okay with you, that is. We call this one, this is our favorite segment of the day on the show, and we call this one Random Wrestling Knowledge with Clyde.
Yes.
Are you guys ready to play tonight?
I'm nervous.
Yes,
yeah.
I'm ready. But, hey, can I tell the people, or do the people already know?
What do the people need to know, brother? You tell the people. Go ahead, brother.
All right, if we hit 1,000 subscribers, Clyde will take a guitar shot. It doesn't matter if it's to the back, the head, wherever. We're just going to give him a guitar shot. We're going to get Jeff Jarrett to do it, or the Honky Tonk Man if we're lucky enough.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. How does that sound, Denise? Would you like to see Clyde take a guitar shot?
I would love to.
All right, brother. So who wants to go first on the Random Wrestling Knowledge game? Do you guys want to flip a coin? I know you guys probably couldn't see a coin, so how do you guys want to decide who goes first?
You flip the coin.
Ladies first.
Okay, ladies first. All right. I like that one. Ladies first. All right, so here we go.
Okay.
Denise, are you prepared for question number 1?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. How many times did Edge win the Intercontinental Championship? Question number 1.
Oh,
Shut up, Evelyn. One.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 1 time.
man.
Neville, you get your-
The two of us?
No, you get your own question, Neville, brother. You get your own very own
Oh,
question.
yeah,
Yeah.
all right.
It's all good, brother. Here we go. Let's see what the producer says. 1 time.
One.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Denise. Thank you for trying, though. The correct answer is 5 times. Edge held the Intercontinental Championship 5 times. That's
I was so
okay.
close.
That's okay, though. You're doing better than I would be 0 for 1 also. Neville, are you ready for question number 1, brother?
She nervous. Yeah, man.
All right, here we go, brother.
Bring it on.
How many times did Edge and Christian hold the WWE Tag Team titles? How many times?
The tag team titles, I would say 8. Final answer.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 8 times. Oh, Neville, you were so close, brother. It was 7. You were so close, dude. Well
Yeah,
done.
I was right there, man.
He was right there, brother. Good try, though. Denise, are you ready?
Might as well do good to me, man.
That's right, man. 7, 8. What's it matter, right? You know, close enough. Denise, are you ready for question number 2?
Yes, I am.
Okay.
Hey, wait a minute, David. Sorry for interrupting you, but is that counting the Conquistadors?
Who's that, with Edge and Christian?
Yes. Remember?
It's how many times they held the titles total as a tag team, brother.
You got it right.
Yeah, dude. Wait, man. They won it as the Conquistadors.
All right, brother. Well, we got to roll with 7, brother, unfortunately. 7 is the official answer we have.
All right.
You see, he's a cheater.
No, he's not. I think he just likes to win. I don't necessarily think he wants to cheat. All right, are you ready, Denise? Question number 2.
I'm ready.
Okay, how many times did the Big Boss Man hold the Hardcore Championship? How many times?
Let's go get this wrong.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Go ahead, just take a little guess.
Okay.
Attitude era, baby. Attitude era.
Okay, 3.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 3 times. Oh, he was close though. Very close. 4 times. The correct answer is 4 times.
Come on, I knew it was something like that. Jeez.
Good try. Respect.
You had no idea it was even.
Neville, did you have any idea? Did you have any idea though? Truthfully, did you? I did. I wouldn't.
Well,
have had any idea.
yeah, man. I said it was at 5.
Okay, so we all would have gotten it wrong in the end there. All right, Neville, are you ready for question
We all
number
got
2?
it wrong.
Are you ready, brother?
I'm ready, brother. Ready.
I think you're going to like this question, Neville. How many times did Shawn Michaels win the Royal Rumble? How many times did he do that?
Oh! How many times did Shawn Michaels win the Royal Rumble?
How many times did he win the Royal Rumble, brother?
Brother, 2 times in a row.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 2 times. All right, Neville, brother.
Are you?
Looking strong there,
These
brother.
are the easy ones. That's not fair.
In a row.
These are just randomly generated questions, by the way. It's like I have no control over who gets which question.
It's a setup.
Yeah, he actually did win it 2 times. And you know what's cool about that, too? Shawn Michaels was the first person to ever win the Royal Rumble from, as contestant number 1 also. That's a cool little fact for you, too.
And being the underdog of the whole thing.
All right, Denise, are you ready for question number 3?
Yes, sir.
Okay, hopefully you get this one right. I'm pulling for you because, if you get it right, if we end in a tie somehow, then we'll have a tiebreaker question. But here we go. Question number 3. How many times has Randy Orton won the Royal Rumble? How many times?
Oh, come on.
Okay, I got this.
Who doesn't got this?
2.
What's your answer?
2.
2 times. Mr. Producer Man, show me 2 times. All right. Well done. Well done. That's what I want to see. Yeah, he actually has won it twice in 2009, 2017. What was that? Sorry, go ahead.
I said I know a little something, something.
No, yeah, Neville. So the pressure is definitely on here, brother. The pressure is on. Question number 3, brother. Are you ready? Neville, are you there, brother? Are you ready?
That's my turn now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Question number 3, brother. Here we go. All right, brother. The pressure is on. You got to get this one right, brother. Here we go. How many times did Randy Savage hold the WWF World Heavyweight Championship? How many times?
Oh my God, Randy Savage. Wait, man. Wait. Just WWF,
Yes.
right? I'm gonna go with
The WWF World Heavyweight Championship. How many times?
the WWF World Heavyweight Championship, right?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna go with 4.
Mr. Producer Man, show me 4 times. Oh. So you guys know what we have to do now. Tied 1-1. So we have to have a tiebreaker question. Are you guys ready for the tiebreaker question?
Wait, man, how many times did he win it?
Oh, it's 2 times. I apologize. 2 times, brother. He won it 2
2
times.
times?
Yeah, 2 times, brother.
What the hell was I thinking of, dude?
I don't know, man. I don't know. But you're doing a good job tonight. Let me say this before we hop into the time. Both of you guys are doing a great job tonight. Denise, Neville, my hat is off to you guys.
Hey.
I've got a little bit of special music for you, Chico, while we're rolling into this, Chico. This is for you. Huh, man? Yeah, man.
Yeah, hey, David. The niece's favorite wrestlers are mine too, dude. So
Yes.
So who's your favorite wrestlers, Denise? Real quickly, if you had to like a quick, top 3 or top 5.
my top 2, dude. My top 2, the same top 2 as me.
I'm asking
Yes,
her.
Michael's Macho Man.
Okay, well,
All right,
nothing wrong with that.
fine.
I love some Macho Man. Not so much Shawn Michaels, but I'm a huge Macho Man fan. So speaking of Macho Man, guys, here's the bonus question. Whoever gets the closest here is the winner for the night. Where was Macho Man Randy Savage born? And I want to go with you first, Denise. Where was he born? Whoever gets the closest geographically wins tonight. Where was he born?
Oh, he was born, oh God. Chicago. It was Chicago. I want to say Chicago. No. Oh, Jesus. Oh, help me, Lord. It was a suburb in Chicago, Illinois.
A suburb in Chicago, Illinois. Okay, where was he born, Neville? Where was Macho Man Randy Savage born?
I don't know, man. I'm just gonna go with Sarasota, Florida, even though I know it's not it, but
Sarasota, Florida. Okay. Actually, he was born in Columbus, Ohio. So our winner tonight
Columbus, Ohio.
Mrs. Denise Muniz is our winner tonight. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I want a rematch.
Oh, you can have a
want a
rematch,
rematch.
brother. On the very next show, you are welcome to have a rematch, brother.
I'll take it.
Got a rematch.
I apologize for that beeping there a moment ago. I tried to silence the phone calls. Evidently, I didn't put the phone on the right mode before we started this segment, so I apologize that to both of you guys and to the audience today. And both of you guys, thank you for taking a moment to join us on this segment. Before we hop out, Neville, do you have any closing thoughts?
Oh, man, you know I'm always up for it. I missed you guys. Thanks a lot. Remember, follow us on Wrestling Unleashed. Follow us on All Elite Wrestling. Follow this podcast, man. Even though it sucks, follow it.
That's right, brother. It's getting a little better every day, but it does suck. That's right.
Yeah, it gets a little better to see if we can get that guitar shot in. And, follow all our pages. And, thanks for having me on, David.
Oh, always a pleasure to have you on, brother. I'm glad to see you're healthy. Glad to have you back on the team, brother, and hopefully we'll talk soon again. And Denise, do you have any closing thoughts tonight? Can you tell folks where they can find you and what you do, related to wrestling on Facebook? I'm sure everybody out there is dying to hear about that.
So, I have my own Facebook page called Wrestling Gal Reviews. I go live on Mondays, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Saturdays. I talk about all things related to wrestling, and that's about it. It's a lot of fun.
All right.
So follow her, Wrestling Gal Reviews.
Everybody follow Wrestling Gal Reviews. Follow everything out there. But most importantly, Devlin, follow the reptiles.
Follow the reptiles, baby.
That's right. Thanks for listening, folks. We'll be right back to close the show out. Coming Tuesdays to That Wrestling Podcast Network. A family that will push you over the edge.
Damn it, Jezebel, where's my dinner?
The good times.
God bless you, Larry Flint.
The madness.
Damn it, Jezebel, I said 2 cans of Grizzly Mint.
The personal moments.
Damn it, can I get some privacy?
Johnny Wildfire and Jezebel Wildfire are the Wildfires.
Somebody call the damn police.
Introducing the one and only Lock in a Sock. Don't be caught without Lock in a Sock when you need it. Lock in a Sock is fun for the whole family. Even Grandma loves Lock in a Sock. Don't be fooled by these cheap imitations. There is only one Lock in a Sock. For only 3 easy payments of $199.99, you can have your very own Lock in a Sock. But wait, there's more. Call in the next 10 minutes and receive free shipping. That's right, free shipping and processing. Just call 1-800-976-LOCK. Operators are standing by. Lock in a Sock. Welcome back. Segment number 3. And what a segment random wrestling knowledge was today, brother. What do you think about all that madness, Clyde?
Oh, it's such a blessing, brother. Anytime we can get some of our friends on here as a special guest and to be part of, it's a beautiful day, a beautiful night, morning, wherever you at out there.
That's right, baby. Wherever you're at in the world, baby. I know it's hard to keep up with it all because this show literally is worldwide. We talk to people all around the world. People listen all around the world. We don't have a huge audience, but everybody that does listen is placed geographically perfectly all around the world, brother. So we have our finger on the pulse of the wrestling world literally here on this show, baby.
We are international like the House of Pancakes, brother.
That's right, brother. That's right, brother. Yeah, so it was awesome having our good friend and special guest, Mr. Neville, join us all the way from Puerto Rico. He brought along his special friend, that wrestling gal, to join us for that special segment there on segment number 2. And now we're back to talk a little bit of AEW, brother. You ready to wrap this show up?
That's right, baby. That's right.
All right, so here's what I want to hop into with you first, brother. Look at me getting a little bit ahead of myself on my words there. Did you see that AEW recently added a former WWE senior director of marketing to their staff?
Yeah, I did, man, and kudos for them. That's a very strategic move there. I like it. Anybody that's come from WWE merchandising is gonna be an asset for sure, brother.
Yeah, brother, I think it's a good move because this gentleman was the senior director of marketing for WWE, the live event marketing, and Raphael Morphy, evidently this is a highly respected gentleman within wrestling circles, and so what I was wanting to touch on here, though, I've seen a lot of AEW hirings over the last we've both seen them, and they just announced actually that Sean Spears is also officially part of the roster full time now too, and so we've kind of seen that they're locking in on these guys, but we haven't seen them really announce that they've hired a whole lot of guys who's going to help creatively and who's going to help write the show, and so I'm thinking that are they just going to let the wrestlers kind of create their own storylines, God forbid, and I think that would be a good idea actually, brother. And what do you think about all that?
I like it, man. Some of the greatest promo guys in the history of wrestling were not necessarily guys that had notes or a script. They probably all had bullet points for sure. But, Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's somebody that comes to my mind automatically. CM Punk, even Mr. Amore, these are guys that would go out there. They would have their bullet points, but they would get it over in their own kind of way. Even like Macho Man, he was a master of that, man.
Well said, brother. And like you said, the bullet points, and like we was talking about in segment number 1 earlier in the show about like Enzo and even to an extent Moxley not liking they don't like being handed scripts. They almost feel like they have the charisma, they have the skill, they have the knowledge, and of course they have the ability to put the words across and to get over with the audience. I mean, why not let them say what they want to say, brother? And I really get back to what you said about Austin. That really struck a nerve with me, brother, because I was thinking, in today's environment, in the WWE, in today's environment, when everything seems to be so micromanaged, when every script and every word and every I has to be dotted, every T has to be crossed before you can go out on the air and even speak a word, that puts a lot of extra pressure on the wrestlers, for one. It comes off kind of fake a lot of times. But number 2, could a Stone Cold organically be created in today's environment where every last word is monitored so closely? Could a Stone Cold actually organically create himself, in 2019 2019, brother. What do you think?
Maybe if there's truth to the rumor of the third hour going a little more, a little more adult orientated, possibly, man. But I don't know. Stone Cold, maybe the most over wrestler of all time. He's got to be up there.
Yeah, and I guess that might not have been the comparison because it might be hard. There might not ever be another Stone Cold, but you know what I mean. Could somebody, just kind of take the reins, take the microphone, in their own hands, and just kind of start saying kind of what they want to say, and come up with a line like that's the bottom line, on their own. It just doesn't seem as likely to happen, like where everything's so micromanaged in today's age. That's the point I was trying to get across, brother.
Yeah. The last promo that stood out to me, as really special was the CM Punk pipe bomb, and that's been a while back.
Yeah, it has been a while back, brother. It has been taking it way back in the Wayback Machine there, brother. Yeah, so, hopefully here's to more organic promos in the future, brother, I guess, and we'll move on that note, brother.
Yeah, sounds good to me, baby.
Cody announces ticket information for All Out. Did you see that, brother?
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a good show, man. I'm sure it'll be sold out before you know it.
Yeah, that's the night when Hangman Page and Chris Jericho will face off to crown the first ever AEW World Heavyweight Champion, dude. And on the latest episode of Being the Elite, Cody revealed that tickets for All Out will go on sale Friday, June 14th at noon Eastern Time. And here's a quick quote I want to read you from Cody. "I want you to be prepared. I want you to all have the information. For starters, fan-friendly price points, just like with Double or Nothing. The most expensive seat in the house is $190. The cheapest seat in the house is $30. And I love how when Cody releases like ticket information for his shows, I don't know if you've ever seen it, but he always says like, everybody remain calm. There's plenty of tickets for everybody. I assure you, everybody will get a seat. But like they always sell out in like 3 minutes, and everybody don't always get a seat. So he's tried to do that again on this video, and Brandy quickly interrupted him like, why do you do this every time? Like, there's not enough tickets for everybody. Like, you know what I mean? I thought it was pretty cool, dude. But overall, dude, what do you think about the pricing? I got a seating chart here pulled up, and I mean, for $30, you're going to be pretty far away, but that seems pretty fair to see Hangman and Jericho square off, brother.
Oh yeah, I think it's extremely reasonable and fan friendly to the common man out there, if you will, baby. I like it, man. I like it. Good, very good price. And the 190 to sit in the very front, man, it's worth it, I think.
Yeah, 190 the first few rows. I mean, that's the first 3 rows all the way around the ring, brother. $190 tickets, and I don't know what WWE runs in those price range, but I want to say it's like $200 to $299. I think last time they was in town here for that ticket, wasn't it?
Yeah, the prices there are kind of similar to WWE's. I want to say they start out at like their low seats in the $20 range.
I think WWE's cheap seats actually might be a little cheaper than All Out's cheap seats, but I think maybe All Out's expensive seats are a little cheaper. I think that's just what I'm gleaning just from kind of just mentally just thinking back on the situation.
Yeah, it's very very similar. WWE and AEW, and definitely your independents are. It's all very reasonable for pro wrestling, man. Pro wrestling has always looked out for its fans. I think almost more than any form of entertainment. Look how easy accessible these guys are. At any given time, you can meet any of the legends of wrestling.
Yeah, very true. And like, just look how much the prices for like rock concert tickets and stuff have gone up over the years. But yeah, WWE has remained fairly consistent in their pricing. I will say that, brother.
Yeah, they've always, even back in the day, shout-outs to WCW, ECW, they've always been fan-friendly, where if you want to go see some good pro wrestling, regardless of the company, man, it's affordable. It's not something you're going to have to, mortgage your house for.
Right. Can't really say that I blame bands, though, for jacking up ticket prices, dude. In this day and age with the internet and YouTube and stuff like that, I mean, basically their only stream of revenue, of like consistent, really good revenue is to tour their asses off, brother.
Yeah. Good point there, gentlemen.
Yeah, I just wanted to make that note. I didn't want anybody to be listening like, well, hell, you don't like musicians raising up their prices. I don't know. Stay off my lawn, boy.
Yeah, I love some good music, but I tell you what, I love some good wrestling even more.
Yeah, man, some good music and some good wrestling together, brother. Is that nothing like that?
Works together like magic.
And speaking of that, is Fozzy going to be at Fyter Fest, brother? Did you see that AEW announced that Fyter Fest will air for free, man? We get to watch this show for free, brother. You looking forward to this one?
Oh, I can't wait, brother. We should have maybe like a watch along or something, figure out something going on with all that.
Let's make it. I'll get with my people, they'll get with your people, and we'll see what we can make happen.
Sounds good to me there, brother.
Yeah, sounds good to me over there.
Yes,
We'll give
right.
Fat Jimmy and Fat Jamie. Maybe they can help us set this up. But yeah, the Fyter Fest will take place Saturday, June 29th in Daytona Beach, Florida. As of now, there are 6 matches scheduled for the show. And Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks teased the other day this on a short video. They was like, I don't know, you got to watch this video, dude. I'm not going to even attempt to summarize it like, here on the air, dude, because I will totally botch it. But if you get a chance, check out thatwrestlingpodcast.com. We got a link to the video. It's pretty cool how they unveiled this and how they unveiled that it's going to be free. As of right now, here's the matches that are scheduled. I want to review this with you real quick. Michael Nakazawa against Alex Jabali. Then we got Cody facing Darby Allin. We got the Elite and Kenny Omega. It's Kenny Omega, Matt Jackson, Nick Jackson versus the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, and an opponent and another opponent to be announced. We have John Moxley versus Joey Janela, Adam Page versus Jimmy Havoc versus Jungle Boy versus MJF in a fatal 4-way match, and then we have Christopher Daniels versus Cena also scheduled as of now. What a card this is going to be, brother.
Yeah, that's stacked, man. For the people that'll be in the house for that event, I hope they appreciate it because they're going to see some beautiful pro wrestling on that night, brother.
Yeah, they are, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another match or two added, between now and bell time, brother.
Yeah, no Jericho, huh?
No Jericho on this match, and that's what's cool. That's why you have to watch this video I was telling you about with Kenny Omega and the Bucks, because the whole video is about how Kenny Omega is horrible at marketing stuff, but they leave it up to Kenny Omega to unveil the news about this, this Fyter Fest being a free event here in Daytona coming up in a few weeks, and he just horribly botches releasing it for free, dude. And so afterwards, Jericho's teasing that he's not going to be at the event because they sucked at unleashing the news on it, and that's why he's not going to be there. But really, he's just not scheduled to be there. He's not scheduled to wrestle again until All Out against Hangman Page at their next, big show. So it's just kind of funny how they're all just teasing each other for sucking, basically, dude. Kind of sounds familiar.
Yeah. Jericho will not be a part of such pandering. I seen that he put out there. I thought that was pretty comical.
Yeah, exactly. See, dude, he's they're taking shots at each other. It's beautiful. And he's so then he announced that Fozzy wasn't going to be there, and somebody, one of the band members from Slipknot, announced that he's going to stand strong and stand in unison with Jericho, and he's not going to show up at Fyter Fest because of how bad it sucks and stuff. So it's pretty funny. I love that they can take shots at themselves still. I love the direction of AEW so far, brother.
Yeah, I love me some Jericho, man. Out of everybody they signed, I guess it's that WWE dog in me, man. I'm just Team Jericho for right now.
Yeah, so I know that you seeing that Carlito's going to be affiliated with Alberto Del Rio's new promotion, and who knows how much he's going to be affiliated with. I know it kind of let you down because you was hoping to see a Carlito WWE return in the near future. But I've also heard some grumblings and rumors that his father's not really in that good of health, and he's kind of needed, where he is now to kind of help with his father's promotion. So, what's your thoughts on Carlito, and kind of what do you know about him, and can you kind of update us any on, his status?
I have heard about the situation with his father. I don't know how true it is that he's not doing too well. Carlito's supposedly running a lot of that up there. I know Carlito's very active on the independents, and he also did a little bit on the Netflix show Glow. Anybody out there's never seen that, it's definitely worth checking out. I was hoping he would come back with Primo and Epico, man. I always say just add Carlito because he's got the charisma. And I'm not saying those guys don't. They just don't seem to get a chance to show that they have charisma. And when Carlito was there, I believe he was there for 7 years. You still there?
I'm here, brother. Keep going, brother. I'm listening away.
Oh, okay. I believe he was there for 7 years, man, and he had pretty much a Hall of Fame career while he was there. And
you still there? That's so funny, dude. Just because I was I'm hanging on the edge of every word, brother. He was there for 7 years. You think he pretty much had a Hall of Fame career? And I want to know, I want to hear what else you have to say about this man.
Yeah, I believe he's 40 years old, man. I figured he could come back to the WWE, but if he's going to wrestle for Mr. Del Rio and Mr. Guerrero, I just hope I can watch it, man. I'm a super fan, Mike Britt.
You sound like Mike Britt, bro. Speaking of Mike Britt, dude, hopefully, I'm going to tease this here right at the end of the show. Hopefully, Mike Britt will be on soon to unveil some huge news here on That Wrestling Podcast. I'm just going to leave it at that because I hate to tease anything that doesn't happen, but I think we got something big getting ready to happen again, brother. I'll just leave it at that. So, having said that, thank you for sharing your thoughts on Carlito Clyde. Thank you for joining us as always. We're going to go ahead and put a bow on today's episode. Do you have any closing thoughts, brother?
Yeah, man. Team Carlito. I hope he wins some titles. Maybe comes back to the WWE. I can't get it off my head, man. It's been so long since there's been some, good news about him, and that's about it for me, man. And hopefully we'll get together again real soon and talk some more wrestling.
Hopefully we'll get together here again real soon and play some more basketball, brother. I don't know if you want to discuss the results of today's game on the air or not. I'll leave that up to you. I'll give you 3 to 5 seconds of silence to decide.
Yeah. What, I beat you 3 times, 3-0, I believe.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness. Did your nose just poke through the wall over there, brother?
Yeah, I got a little Pinocchio action going here, brother.
We'll just leave it at that. We'll leave a little bit of suspense on the basketball results then. All right, folks. But yeah, if you like us out there, let us know. If you like us, check us out on the web also. ThatWrestlingPodcast.com. Open 24/7. Always updated with the most crazy, funkiest, freshest, most ridiculous wrestling content you're going to find on the web, brother. And if you like us, let us know. If not, let us know. We will do a job for you on your show. That's the way we roll right here on That Wrestling Podcast. And having said that, we will catch you guys on the next one.
That's right.
Ooh, yeah.
Win them in the ring, you lose them in the ring.
And you can't teach that.
Carlito Caribbean Cool.
The following is a paid advertisement. That Wrestling Podcast is not responsible for any claims, guarantees, or products in this ad. Hey ladies out there, you having trouble getting somebody to pay you a few dollars? Well, contact Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services today. Intervention.
You need us to intervene, smack a couple guys around? No problem.
Mediation. We can mediate your problem today. Protection.
You need your money, you need it now. We'll go find them, smack them around. Nobody's got to know a thing.
That's Paulie and Paul's Intervention, Mediation, and Protection Services, also known as PIMP. The following is a paid advertisement for Dick Drizzle for Congress 2020. As a local business owner for over 20 years, Dick Drizzle has helped to provide jobs and stabilize our economy. As a city councilman, his Clean Streets initiative have our streets cleaner than ever, and we now have our very own 5K marathon. His humble beginnings and modest lifestyle keeps him connected to the people that matter most. Dick Drizzle, his policies work for you. Vote Dick Drizzle for Congress 2020.